It is that time of day again. Time for the gaming news. Hello. Hey folks, I'm Shygrim, and this is the Screencap. A new limited time mode has been added to Fortnite, which brings Michael Jordan's Jumpman brand into the game. For some reason though, this mode revolves around skateboarding. Why didn't they just do a Tony Hawk tie-in then? Okay. In this mode, players will get to explore around a Brooklyn-inspired city area in which challenges are scattered about. Completing these challenges will earn you some extra items and cosmetics for your character. Seriously though, if this is about skateboarding, then why didn't they just get a skateboarder for this event? Okay. Seems like Fortnite is copying Apex more and more nowadays. This latest patch adds a pretty major game feature, hotspots. The hotspots are locations that are marked on the map at the start of each game and are used to mark locations that contain more loot than usual. In every game there's at least one hotspot, with a chance of there being a second or even a third. What makes these locations more special is that on the surface it's just normal loot, but in these locations there's going to be 12 to 16 loot carriers, which will drop rare or higher quality loot as well as stacks of ammo. Also in this patch, with the vaulting of the thermal rifle and scoped revolver, the semi-automatic sniper rifle is returning to the game once more. If you want to see everything that was changed, you can go check out the patch notes for yourself, but it's looking to be pretty cool. Frontier is giving Planet Coaster some attention with some new interesting crossover DLC. The DLC is apparently about ghosts and is named fittingly Ghostbusters. This DLC will offer a new campaign, new themed rides, some new scenery items, and some voice acting from the original Ghostbusters, at least the ones that are still around. At least it's not a crossover of Dan Aykroyd and his vodka. Play the clip.
I'm Dan Aykroyd. This is an accurate glass rendering of a human skull. The obvious question is, why did we do this? Vodka.
I don't understand how ghosts got into the parks in the first place, to be honest. It's not like the guests can die. Or can they? You can have a roller coaster hit them at 1,000 miles per hour and they'll just get right back up. I don't get it. We covered an article a while back in which we talked about a new law in Belgium regarding loot boxes in games and whether or not it's considered gambling. Well, it looks like Belgium does consider these boxes as gambling, since a law is going to effect at the end of August, which will prohibit anything that is considered gambling in video games. Because of this, Nintendo is actually just gonna shut down Animal Crossing Pocket Camp and Fire Emblem Heroes in Belgium, stating that you'll be unable to play and download the game if you are there. Well, that sucks. Both of those games have what's stated as a loot box style system in place, where you can spend real world money to get random in-game items. Other than just those two Nintendo games, because Nintendo isn't really known for loot boxes, Square Enix has also pulled 3 of its mobile games from the Belgian market, and EA even stopped selling its in-game currency for FIFA 19 in Belgium as well. If even EA is affected, spread the word, let's take them down! Only time will tell whether or not these laws spread to other countries and regions, and if they do, then hopefully game companies don't just pull their games from those markets and they actually rework their monetization models. They put a lot of time into making those games, and some players also put a lot of time into playing them. So speaking of Nintendo mobile games, there's going to be a Mario Kart game coming to smartphones sometime in the future. Mario Kart Tour has recently launched a beta test for Android devices in Japan, so now we actually have some information about it. The game looks a lot like a traditional Mario Kart game, but with some simplified controls, of course, because you don't have all those buttons on a smartphone, and touchscreen controls suck. It looks like the kart will accelerate by itself, thank God, because that's basically what Mario Kart should have been basically all along. Who honestly uses the brake button in a Mario Kart game? Put it down in the comments. The player just has to drag their finger left and right to turn, but you know, whatever. Of course, with it being a mobile game, you know what's coming. In-app purchases. Yes, this game is free to play, but of course there's going to be in-app purchases as well as gacha mechanics. So yes, loot boxes. There are also different drivers you can play as, with rare drivers actually having in-game advantages. Nintendo, don't do pay to win. That's fine. You can do loot boxes in your mobile games, whatever, I don't care. But pay to win loot boxes, oh my god, you guys. Really kind of expected better from y'all, but then again, Doug Bowser just took over and he was in EA at one point, so well, the game's still in beta, so hopefully things will change, but they probably won't. Hold on. The Ouya store was still active in 2019? Okay, well, it's not anymore. If you don't know about the Ouya, it was the Android-based gaming console that got funded through Kickstarter many years ago. The Ouya game store is finally closing 4 years after the last console came off the production line. Razer, who apparently own Ouya now, is shutting down the Forge TV and Mad Catz Mojo game stores as well. I have no idea what those are, but, you know, maybe I would in an alternative timeline. They're encouraging everyone who owns an Ouya, so 2 people, to make all final purchases and spend the rest of their account funds while they still can, since there will be no way to get funds off their account once the store is closed. Last one, lock the door. You will at least still be able to play the games that you've downloaded in the past, but games that require any sort of purchase validation upon launch will not be able to be played. That's a bummer. Sorry, Ouya fans. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this episode of the Screencap. You can check up here where we talked about some other stuff. We've got some stuff about stuff. And we will see you guys next time. Take it easy. I'm gonna go now. Toodles!